Hello friends and family. This is our workout of the day. It is core day. Happy Thursday. For our warm-up, we have 2 different rounds, okay? We've got 3 different moves that we're going to be cycling through twice before we move on to the next sequence of 3 moves. There is no break when we're cycling through twice, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, right away back up to the top, 4, 5, 6. For our workout 1.0, we have 4 moves. Each move is going to be 40 seconds with 10 seconds of rest. As you can see in the sequences, move 1 and move 3 are the same, except we're going to be switching sides. So we'll explain that a little bit better when we get to workout 1.0. Workout 2.0, we have 3 different superset combinations. We're going to be doing the superset combos for a very specific time allotment. I will describe those time allotments a little bit more once we get to this specific workout, but know that the first move in the superset and the second move in the superset have different timing. For our finisher, we have a really fun high-low challenge coming your way, slightly different than what we've done in the past, but also familiar and the same, so you're gonna love it. Let's get ourselves started with our warm-up today. All right, thank you. So folks, with our warm-up, we have our first 3 moves coming at you. Move number 1, we have high plank toe touches. So as you're going through this move, you want to hit that high plank every single time. We're not staying stuck into that pike position. If you cannot physically touch your toes, just reach to where you can comfortably get to, and then set that hand back down and land in that plank. Another really common mistake that I see here is that we're moving too many body parts. You're lifting one hand, and that's the only thing that loses contact with the floor. Move number 2, you're staying in your prone style position. Hands are down. You're going to do either donkey kicks if you're more intermediate or advanced. If you are more beginner or you're really wanting to warm up slowly, you're going to do single-legged butt kicks. So choose which one you're ready to start with. In the second round of this move, you can choose to amplify it a little bit more. Number 3, we're going to get into a low plank position, elbows directly underneath shoulders, and you're going to slowly hip dip side to side. I want for this move to be very focused on brain to muscle connection and thinking about firing up through those obliques. We've got a couple of strong oblique moves coming at you later in this workout. So I want for that move to be slow, controlled, really think about squeezing into the side body. All right? So we've got 30 seconds per move, 5 seconds of transition time. I'm going to have 35 seconds on the timer, so that final 5 seconds is your transition time, so there's a little bit less beeping and less confusion. I will help you out as we're transitioning with what's coming next. Getting our timer up, we're going to get started with our high plank toe touch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Again, being the very first moves that we're working on this morning, we are not going at lightning speed. We're not going for a personal best right now. We are going for warming the body, for feeling our way through, lubricating those joints, making sure that all the body parts that are needed for the future workout portions are ready to go. So as you see, Em's working really hard here. He is going to rest now and move into donkey kick position, which will not take long at all. We are already in that proper positioning. Emerson's going with an advanced version of this movement. You see that he's kicking up and out, but there is also a more beginner option available. Choose whatever works best for you and your body right now at this point in your warm-up. We've got about 18 seconds remaining here. We're going to keep pushing that body, feeling nice and warm, stretching through these moves. And we're going to switch to those low plank hip dips right about now. So let's transition down, low plank position, nice and slowly moving side to side. Really, really good. I want you to think about pushing through your elbows so that you have a nice and domed up upper back here. And I want also for you to use your fingertips as balance through this low plank position. Beautiful, guys. We have about 10 seconds left here before we're going to immediately transition back up to our high plank toe touches. Let's do that right about now. Let's transition back up, high plank position. Awesome. Going through our second and final round of these first 3 moves. Let's really work on warming up. Miss Kate Reed, I see you working hard over there. Jennifer Watkins, tuning in. Beautiful, guys. That is halfway. We are working hard to get through this move. Nice, solid. Really think about warming up, brain to muscle connection. Close your eyes and feel what's going on in your body. We've got donkey kicks coming up next. I want a donkey cup now. There we go, guys. We are in our second round of donkey kicks. Again, you can also choose to go alternating legs here. You can amp up the intensity like what Emerson is showing, or you can choose to be a little bit more consistent and stick to the similar move the whole time. Honestly, choose your own adventure, guys, with this warm-up. The key and the idea here is to get that body warm, like I said before. Next, we've got our low plank hip dips coming up right about now. Let's relax. Let's get down to that floor, and let's perform these hip dips. Again, nice and slow. You don't want to pike your hips too much here. You want to try to keep your glutes squeezed, your core in control here. Really swiveling side to side. You're going to notice that you're going to pivot on your toes quite a bit here. And if you're doing it properly, you're going to feel your obliques lighting up like a Christmas tree. And who doesn't love Christmas? We've got about 10 seconds left here. We're going to go all the way to the very, very end here. We are not stopping at that 5-second mark. And now we're resting. Have the opportunity here to grab some water, take a breath, shake out whatever feels a little bit tight, and then we're going to introduce 3 new moves, exact same format. How are we feeling, Em?
Wonderful.
He's feeling wonderful, guys. Next 3 moves. Move number 1, we have high knees. So you're going to be standing in one spot, driving those knees as high as you can, driving opposite hand with opposite leg. Now, if you're somebody who's not quite ready for this yet, you can do a fast-paced march on the spot as well. Second move, we're going to get down onto the floor in a high plank style position. We're going to perform groiners. So as you see, M is working on stepping up his feet one at a time for a more beginner modification here. This is a really great option for you if you're someone who takes a little bit of time to warm up into those hips. The next variant on this move would be to switch in the air here. So you notice that he is jumping and doing a mid-air switch. That would be the more advanced modification for this move. Our final move in this portion of the warm-up will be our wood choppers. So Emerson has a dumbbell in hand, and he's driving his knee to that dumbbell. Now this is not a free-for-all. It is very easy to lose control in this move. I want everybody to think about keeping that core tension here, keeping that, imagine you've coughed and you have that tension in your core, you have to keep that the entire time. So for the first round, for this specific move, choose to go the whole time on one side. Next round, choose to go on the opposite side. Stick with it. We're going to get started at those high knees, starting with 30 seconds of work in 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin. The timer is on. So at this point, guys, our bodies are feeling a little bit warmer. We have given a little bit more intensity intentionally to this second part of the warm-up because we know that at this point our bodies are likely able to handle it. So again, you don't have to be going at full throttle, but I would like to see the more advanced version of these moves if it's capable for you, if your body's able to do them. We are going to move to groiners right about now, so let's get down in that high plank position. And pick your variation on groiners. Again, if you're someone who has really tight hips and takes some time to work into these moves, step the legs up. If you're someone who doesn't have that tightness and feels really ready for this move, I want to see what Emerson is completing here. That mid-air switch is for you. Again, think if you start at the most advanced version of the move, you can always regress down as you listen to your body and as you get fatigued. You have about 5 seconds left here before we move on to those wood choppers. So we're going to stand up. We're going to move into those wood choppers. Incredible. So he's staying on this side the entire time. You want to have very intentional force here, guys. You are driving your knee in and having a really solid stop in that midair. You see that we're balancing and we're working on that balance on that supporting leg. And there's a lot of core tension going on here. There is absolutely no chance that you're letting go of your core in this move. You are holding on to this move. We are going to rest now, moving back to our high knees. Amazing. We are in the final home stretch of our warm-up this morning. Really driving those knees sky high. Let's really focus on using our arms to help us with the momentum of getting our knees up. This is the style of high knees that we're looking for today. Awesome work, guys. You see Emerson's getting some air time here. He's really working on driving those knees up. This helps warm up our hip flexors as well, using the power of those hips to hike those knees up. We are going to rest, get down on the floor now, and switch back into our groiners. Really nice work, folks. Focusing on that stretch through the hips, focusing on keeping your hands directly under your shoulders for the proper core activation. When you're doing this move, really aim to stretch out that back leg long so that you don't accidentally pike through the hips here. We want to keep this nice and long and straight shape so that with the back leg, there's a relatively straight line from the heel to the top of the head. We will rest, pop back up now, and get into those wood choppers on the opposite side. So getting ready, guys, and really working into this move. You can be like Emerson and choose to use a dumbbell here, but the dumbbell is not necessary for an effective warm-up here. It's really effective using a dumbbell if you're an advanced member and you need that extra push. We are going all the way through to the very, very end here. A little extra 5-second push for this specific move. We have 8 seconds, guys. Breathing right through to the end. We get water and a stretching moment after this move. And rest. Really nice work. Really great work ethic. I'm really, really happy that you guys are done this warm-up. Grab that water. And if you need water, take the time and grab it. And then we're going to go through a stretching sequence.
Wow, nice work.
Yeah, you too. Jinx. All right, folks, we're going to start nice and easy. I love to start a lot of these warm-ups with the same thing. Feet are a little bit wider than hips. Micro bend through those knees. Starting with some torso rotations. Getting that trunk limber and ready to work. So Em is showing a really nice passive style to this move. His arms are just free and hanging. This is a really, really nice way to perform this move. If you're someone who wants a little bit more structure, you can hold your arms up, completely up to you. When he's ready, he is going to stand in the same stance. We're going to go one arm down, one arm up, and side bend. So I really want you guys to think about stretching long through your fingertips. So you're stretching out through that side body. Again, there's going to be some oblique moves coming up here. So we want to make sure that that body part, that area is ready to go. So let's do about 3 to 4 per side, depending on how you're feeling this morning. And then we will move on into a forward fold position. Nice work. So Em is landing into a forward fold position. He's got his feet slightly wider than hips, a little micro bend through the knees. He's allowing his arms and his head and his neck to just be loose. He is allowing his lower back to stretch out here. So if in any portion of that warm-up you felt your lower back kicking in to give you a little hand, this is where we want to stretch it out, let it relax, taking a few moments here and just like oscillating side to side. From here, folks, you can walk yourself out into a downward dog position and pedal a little bit through those feet. I'm sure that those high knees woke up your calves. Let's get those stretched out a little bit. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. We're going to spend maybe 2 more deep breaths here, and then you're going to land in a high plank position. We're going to take 3 long, deep breaths in this high plank position before we drop down to our knees. I want us to think about keeping the core as engaged as possible. Ribs are up and tucked in, arms are pressing hard into the floor. Once you've reached 3 breaths, your knees are going to come down. You're going to sit your bum back as close to your heels as possible. Forearms come down onto the floor. You're going to take your right arm beside your right ear, and you're going to torso twist up towards the ceiling. You're stretching effectively through your T-spine right now, really getting your back limber here. So when we're working core, we are working trunk. So front, back, all of it. I want all of us to be ready to go when it comes to all the parts. So we've stretched out and effectively engaged our core. We stretched out our low back. Now we're stretching out our upper back. Do 3 or 4 rotations or opens per side. Nice work. When you've completed this move, feel free to push yourself back into a forward fold position in whichever way is most suitable for you. From that forward fold position, take 2 more nice, steady, deep breaths, and then slowly roll up to standing. Now today, guys, I want us to focus on our breathing as we work through these moves. I know that in core days, there's something about contracting the core that makes us want to hold our breath. I know that I am very guilty for wanting to hold my breath while I'm working core. We're going to work on breathing through this workout. Grab an extra little sip of water if you need it. We're going to start working on workout 1.0. Now, with workout 1.0, like I said previously, move 1 and move 3 are the same. Now guys, this move is a little bit technical, so I really need you guys to look in and focus and be very adamant on watching what Emerson is doing here. We're going to be doing what's called a 3/4 Turkish get-up. So Emerson's starting position, he's laying flat on the floor. His left leg is straight and his left arm is straight on the floor. His right leg is bent and his right arm is holding a weight. So the arm that's holding the weight is the same where the leg is bent. Always it's going to look like this. What he's going to do from here, he's going to drive up onto his elbow. He's going to lift that right weight up. From here, he's going to push into the palm of his hand, and he's going to sit up. And from this position, he's going to drive through his right foot and lift his hips. His left foot is dorsiflexed up, and he's pushing through his heel. From here, he's going to sit his hips down, put his elbow down, lay his back on the floor, and stay here. You notice the entire time, I want you to focus when Emerson goes through on what happens with his arm. It stays locked out, it stays overhead. This arm does not move the entire time. As you come up, you follow the same stages as when you go down, okay? So I'm just gonna show you on the opposite side. Again, pushing off elbow. That's right, pushing off elbow, pushing off hand, hips come up. From here, it goes hips, go down, elbow comes down, laying back down. So you're following the same pattern. We will keep really vocalizing this as we go so we don't get confused. For the second move, we're doing 3 switch scissors. So his chest is up, his shoulders are off the floor. He's going to do 3 and hold. 1, 2, 3, and hold. For that holding count, I want you to say 1,000,001 or 1 Mississippi. You're staying up there for an entire second, okay, before you switch again. Move number 3, you're doing the Turkish get-up again, but on the opposite side, you're switching. So if you started on the left with the weight, the second round you'll go to the right. Exact same move, different side. For the fourth move, we're going to come into an open-closed starfish. So we're starting in a big star, and then we're going to close it up. And then we're going into a star, and then we're going to close it up. For those of you who find this extremely challenging, you're going to bend your knees, okay? It'll be a little bit different. It's going to look really funny, but it's very effective, okay? So those are your 4 moves. You're going to be performing them for 40 seconds of time to 10 seconds of rest. We're starting with the Turkish get-up. we're going to get started. Sorry, we're going 20 seconds first to 10 seconds of rest. We're going to get started, folks, in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Again, 20 seconds of work.
It's 40.
Sorry, it is 40. That's my mistake. I picked the wrong one. Rewind, folks. That was my mistake. We're going 40 seconds to 10. 3, 2, 1, and begin. I have like 7 timers set for myself, and I just keep looking at them, and they're just not making sense in my brain this morning. So as we're going, we've got 40 seconds of work. Emerson's starting with his left arm weighted and his right arm supporting. So on the supporting side, he's got the long leg. On the weighted side, he's got the bent leg. We are following the pattern. Hips up, then hips go down, elbow comes down, body comes down. If this is really challenging for you, just take it nice and slow and get the pattern down. And we're resting for 10 seconds, folks, and then we're moving to the 3 switch scissor kicks. Remember on that third one to pause for a full second. Good. We're going to challenge ourselves to keep our legs as straight as possible with the tiniest little micro bend through our knees. And then we're going to really focus on keeping the chest up so that the shoulders are off the floor. For those of you who are more beginners, it might be easier for you to keep your body laying on the floor, but if you are laying flat on the floor, I highly encourage you to focus on what your lower back is doing and make sure it's not lifting up off the floor at all. It should stay firmly pressed down. We've got 5 seconds before we go into the opposite side Turkish get-up. Good. 10 seconds, grabbing that weight, and we're going into the opposite side for your Turkish get-ups. 3, 2, 1. And begin. So we might find that one side feels more coordinated or more able to move than the other. That's normal. What we have to do is program our brain to do what we want the body to do. So for some people, it might feel like you're trudging through deep snow to get your body to do what you want to do. The fun thing is, the more you do these styles of movements, the more you're going to create that path for yourself to be able to do these movements with less resistance. How are we feeling, Em?
Amazing.
He's feeling amazing. And we're going to relax for 10 seconds, going into open, closed starfish, folks. Only 40 seconds of work. We're going to get started and go. So as you can see, Emerson is keeping his shoulders up off of the ground, which is a very advanced version of this move, and this is what I would love to see. Again, if you're needing a regression, you can either choose to bend your knees through this move, or you can choose to keep the legs straight, but keep the whole upper body down on the floor. That is also an option available to you. There's lots of different ways to still feel intense core movement and feel intense core, what's the word I'm looking for? Activation, that's what I'm thinking of. But modify the moves slightly. We're going to take a little break here, folks. Grab some water if you need it. We're going to go back up to the top, and we're going to perform those 4 moves again. So I hope that everybody is feeling really, really comfortable with these moves, because we're going right back into it. We're going to get started 40 seconds on in 5, 4, 3, 2, and go. So here he goes. He is still lifting that weight overhead. If you're an advanced member and you think that you can handle having a little bit more overhead weight, I would encourage you to try it. The heavier the weight, the more your core has to work on supporting you to get through this move. This is a very different, complicated style move. You're using a lot of body parts to make this work. That's it, guys. Nice focus. Keep on breathing through this move as well. We are not holding our breath today. We've got about 5 seconds remaining here before we move into our final round of 3 switch scissor kicks. So laying flat on the floor, giving yourself a moment, taking a beautiful deep breath, and then performing those scissor kicks. And begin. 3 kicks, hold. Really take the time to hold at the top there and really focus on that core contraction. So our Our ribs are tucked up and in. We're trying to keep our shoulders up off of the floor. Our chin is not glued to our chest. We're keeping it up so that we are keeping our airway open so that we can breathe. Breathing, again, is super important in all of these moves. We are over that halfway point. Let's really focus on consistently staying strong here. So taking as few rests as what's physically possible for us as we go through for the last 3 seconds. And then grabbing our weight for the opposite side, Turkish get-up. The last time doing these 3/4 Turkish get-ups this morning.
3, 2, 1. Woo!
And beginning, guys, keeping that core tight, keeping your body working as one cohesive unit. And again, guys, taking our time. Whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, this move is not meant to be lightning speed. This move is meant to be slow and controlled. Honestly, for this one, the slower you go, likely the more challenging it will feel. So really challenge yourself this morning. We are just over halfway. Good. Really working on keeping that weight straight overhead. You don't want it plunging forward. You don't want it going back over your head. There is a special spot that your weight needs to stay. Resting and then going into our final round of open, closed starfishes. Starfish? Starfishes? What is it, guys? Star? Yeah, there we go. Lots of different mods for this, guys. If you're feeling that this is really, really challenging, either bend those knees or keep the upper body not involved in the move at all. You can tuck those hands under the glutes, and you can work with just the legs here too. Breathing, we are about 20 seconds till completion, and we get a little water break, and then we'll move on to the next 4 moves in the same workout 1.0 format.
Oh my God.
8 seconds left. You can do it. Come on, pushing hard at home, folks. Little rest after this. You get a water break and relax. Really good work. Great perseverance. Grab some water. We're going to demo the next 4 moves for you in the studio here. The style stays exactly the same. Move number 1 and move number 3, again, are the same move, but you're doing them on opposite sides of the body. So move number 1, you're going to be performing a standing side bend. Emerson is showing a variation here with the band, which is fantastic for those of you who have a band at home. This is also a really great option. If you have only light dumbbells, you can hold on to the light dumbbell and the band at the same time to make this a very advanced style movement. Now, there's another option for you at home. If you have a very heavy dumbbell, you can choose to use this heavy dumbbell as well without the band. Super effective, okay? Next move, we have our high plank bird dog hold. So we're gonna get in a high plank position, and there's a couple different options here for you folks. So option number 1, if you're an advanced member, you're gonna hold this position static for 40 seconds. If you are someone who is feeling this in the wrong spots, if you're feeling it in your lower back, if you're not feeling your core activate, then you might want to hold for 20 seconds and then switch at halfway, okay? There are some spots that you're inevitably gonna feel it. You're likely gonna feel through your glutes and parts of your legs from holding up, and you're likely gonna feel in your shoulders a little bit from stabilizing, but we want that core to be prime focus here. The third move will be the opposite side of the standing side bend here. So again, you're just working, nice, slow, controlled, working on pulling and contracting through those obliques. And the fourth and final move, you're going to go back down into a plank position, cross body, pausing knee drives. So this move is not a fast move. You are driving that knee as physically close to the elbow as possible while keeping a really good plank position, and you are holding it there for 1,000,001. Okay? We're gonna go to the top. We're gonna go for our standing side bend. Emerson here is choosing to use a really heavy weight. You guys can choose whatever variation you want. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So in this specific move, guys, it's very important that we stay very straight through the body. If we pike our hips out like this or allow our hips to tilt, or we let our ribs pop up, we're not going to reach the muscle group that we're looking for as effectively. We want to make sure we're in that proper positioning, and then the obliques are open for business here. So Emerson is choosing, or he is not choosing, he is staying on the same side the whole time. That's what we want from you guys too. Stay on the same side the entire time. Breathe through it, persevere, and relax. We're going into the high plank bird dog hold next. So holding those hands directly underneath the shoulders. Good. Now folks, if you're a beginner, and no matter what, this is causing instability and you're wobbling, think maybe about pulsing up and then putting the hand down. Pulsing up and then putting the hand and leg down. Repeating that pulse on the same side for the entire 40 seconds. That is a really great beginner modification for you if you are unable to find stability. Now Emerson switched at halfway. All of you have the opportunity to switch at halfway as well. You've got about 6 seconds left on that timer before we go back up to a standing position. Slowly make your way back up to standing. You've got 10 full seconds to get standing again and to breathe. Try not to stand up too quickly and get lightheaded. And begin. Again, guys, I want there to be a breathing technique here. So you're going to inhale as you bend down and exhale on the way back up. Find yourself a really solid breathing technique so that you can assist the body. If we're holding our breath, we are not helping ourselves whatsoever. We are just over halfway, guys. We're persevering on the same side, working hard, trying to call on those obliques. Close your eyes, find that muscle group, and send it, folks. We've got 5 seconds left before we go back down to a high plank. Really good work, guys. Getting into that high plank position for our cross-body knee drives. We want to pause for 1,000,001 every single time that knee comes into contact with that elbow. Now, I understand that for some of us, we're not going to physically be able to touch that knee to our elbow. That's okay. Get as close to it as you can and pause in that space. We want to really focus on keeping that core tight and engaged. Think about rounding up through the ribs to give your core the best chance at staying active and being in flames. That's it. We've got about 5 seconds left before we have a little water break and pop back up to the top. Excellent, guys. Really solid work ethic. We're going to grab some water. We're going to catch our breath. If you have a towel off all that dripping sweat, and then we're going to get back to it. So the start of our sequence, we're going to stand back up for those side bends. We know what it's all about now. I want us to really focus in now. We're going to get started, folks, in 5, in 4, 3, 2, and begin. I challenge all of you to take a second in this move to close your eyes and really feel your body here. Feel the obliques working really, really hard. Sometimes closing our eyes and visualizing what that muscle looks like can really help us connect with it better. For some of us, that's not an effective tool, but for others, it can be really effective. So if you've never tried that before, I encourage you to give it a go right now. We've got about 9 seconds remaining here. Again, nice and slow and steady here. You see that Emerson's going at a really great pace. And we're relaxing, we're moving on to our high plank bird dog hold. So if you stuck to the same side for the entire time last time, inevitably you're switching sides this time and staying there. If you were rotating or switching from side to side, do this in a similar style to what you did last time. Yes, really, really good work. Emerson is working in overdrive. I see his body twitching and like working hard to stay in this position. That's what we want. We want that little challenge. That halfway mark just happened. Emerson has switched and he's working on staying stable. The hardest part here, keep your hips level, keep your shoulders level. If you find that your body's starting to torque and twist, that's your body's way of cheating. Try to keep nice and straight and flat. And resting, we're going to pop back up to standing in a way that doesn't make us lightheaded, nice and slow and steady. Switching sides with our oblique move. And again, we're going to close our eyes here, and we're going to really focus in on that muscle group. Really, really center ourselves and experience what it feels like to just be in our bodies in this moment. Exercise can be a very effective form of meditation, folks, if we let it. So we have 20 seconds remaining, 20 seconds of work left here before we move on to our final move of workout 1.0. I hope that we're feeling the burn, folks. That is what this is all about today. We have got 6 seconds remaining. Continue breathing. You hear the breathing in the studio. Mimic it at home. Resting for 10 seconds. Getting into that high plank position for those cross-body knee drives. I really want everybody to focus in and send this home, guys. This is 40 seconds of hard work before we get a solid break while we introduce workout 2.0 to you. So really drive it home because you know you have a moment to get that heart rate down. So we've got about 23 seconds remaining here. Really pause up at that top. Really think even about making it 1,000,000, 1.5. Squeezing through that core, burning through that core, allowing ourselves to embrace being uncomfortable. We have 7 seconds remaining until we get to rest. 3, 2, 1, rest. Grab some water at home, lay down on the floor and stare at the ceiling. Whatever, do you, folks. We're going to introduce to you the next workout. So while Emma's taking a little break here, I'm going to explain what this workout is going to look like. We have 3 different supersets. Supersets meaning 2 moves done back to back together. For the timing, the first move of the superset is going to be 20 seconds to start. The second move of the superset is going to be 60 seconds. Each round we do, the timing will change. So I will explain the timing change after the first round. So again, we've got 3 different supersets, 20 seconds for the first move, 60 seconds for the second move. You will have 10 seconds to transition from the first superset to the second superset and then to the third superset. So the first superset, you have reverse crunches looking like this. Emerson's got his hands down on the floor. He is driving his heels out and then his knees in towards the body. If you're more advanced, you can choose to take your hands off the floor. The second move in this superset is reverse plank. So you're keeping your hands behind you and you're really driving your hips up. This is more challenging than it seems. We are holding this, for a minute. If you're more beginner or you need a regression, you're going to bend your knees into a reverse tabletop position and really push those hips up as high as you can get them. The second superset, you're going to be doing oblique leg up. So you're flipping around into this high plank position and you're driving both feet to either side. This one, you have to employ the mental stamina to engage your own core. It's really easy to just drive all the weight into your shoulders. You have to actively turn your core on for that move. For the next one, we're just doing a high plank hold. So you're going from oblique leg ups immediately into a high plank hold for 1 minute. Next and final superset, you're going to be performing low plank punches. So you're in a low plank position, one arm at a time, you're going to punch. From this move, you're going to flip very quickly over into a hollow hold position. If you're more beginner and you need a regression, you will go into a dead bug style position. The further away your knees and your quads are from your face, the more challenging this move is going to be. So going back up to the top, we're starting with 20 seconds for the first move and 60 seconds for the second move for reverse crunches and reverse plank. We're going to get started. 20 seconds on in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So you've got reverse crunches happening, guys. I don't want these to be fast. I want these to be mindful. So you're really focusing on finding the burn. You are halfway through here. You're working diligently, your chin is up off of your chest, you're not gluing that together. Immediately those heels come out in front of you, you're lifting into this position for reverse plank. We are holding on to this for a minute. So let's really think about finding our happy place, giving ourselves that checklist in our head. Is my chest elevated? Are my hips elevated? Are my glutes squeezed? Are my ribs in? You can choose to move into the regressed form of this move. Guys, if you're feeling this in any sort of way that's uncomfortable, or you're feeling the wrong muscle groups activate, take a second, rest, take a deep breath, and then pop back into this move. Really, really holding strong here, guys. If you have very sensitive wrists, it might be worth holding on to some dumbbells in this move or putting some cushions underneath your hands. You've got 10 seconds remaining here before we move on to our second superset. For our second superset, we've got our oblique leg ups and our high plank hold. So you have 10 seconds to flip around into our oblique leg ups, which will be happening for 20 seconds. And begin. 20 seconds on the clock for these oblique leg ups. We are trying to really activate the core. Like I said in the demo, you need to do this, you need to do it in your mind. Your body's not automatically going to push for the most core activation here, so you have to do it. And finding a static high plank hold here, guys. Really finding that happy place, giving yourself that checklist. Am I pushing really hard through my hands? My shoulders should be doming up. Are my ribs tucked in? Are my hips piped up? Do I have tension in my quads and glutes? Keep asking. Shoulders, ribs, hips, glutes. Shoulders, ribs, hips, glutes. Very fast to go over that checklist in your mind over and over again. If you are very fatigued, drop down to your knees and do a knee plank. That is also a fantastic option. When you're in the knee plank, keep your knees together. That is the most challenging version of a knee plank. We have 15 seconds remaining here, guys. Persevere through. We have our next superset coming in hot. 8 seconds remaining. We're going to get prepared for our low plank punches and our hollow hold. Allowing ourselves to just come down to the floor, take a deep breath. We have 7 seconds before our low plank punches will start. 3, 2, 1, amazing. So we're in our low plank. We are punching. Let's try to make this really stable. Let's go wide through our feet. Let's try not to let our hips pike or rock. We want to keep them solid. We are practicing some good technique here with whoo. He is exhaling as he's punching, and that's evident through the noises. From here, guys, you're in that hollow hold position. You are hanging on tight. At this point, your core should be fiery. You should be rocking the flames. If you need to transition from a hollow hold into a dead bug and back again, that might be a really good option for you. We are in this for the long haul, folks. Breathe through the tension. Give yourself a rhythm in your breathing that you are unrelenting on. If you are not breathing, you are not fueling the muscles properly, and they're not going to perform optimally for you. Make sure you're breathing. We've got about 15 seconds remaining here before we move on to the next round, but not before we take a break. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax, guys. Take a moment, breathe, grab water, towel off. That was hard. It's about to get harder. In our second round, we are going 30 seconds for the first move and staying with 60 seconds for the second move. So what this means for you is the hot fire flames that you're feeling in your core is going to turn into a raging inferno. That's the point. We are building a little bit of stamina here, a little bit of endurance, and that's the exciting part. So I'm going to give you another couple moments to just breathe and really think about what's coming your way. Our first 2 moves again, guys, are reverse crunches followed by our reverse plank. We're going to get this party started, reverse crunches, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin. 30 seconds on to 60 seconds off. Really working on being slow. If we go too fast for a move like this, we will inevitably feel more hip action than core. If we go slow, we have the opportunity to control our body in a different way. So let's really, really choose our speed, and let's breathe through this move. And relaxing, going right away into that reverse plank. I don't expect you guys to just like scramble to get into that second move. Get into that second move, get comfortable in it, and stay there for the long haul. Really nice work. Em started out on the more regressed version of this move, and as he got comfortable in it, he moved to the more advanced version. I would highly encourage you to just keep moving between the two. As you're feeling fatigued, regress. As you feel like you're gaining strength in that regression, progress. We are just over that halfway mark. Let's keep our chins up. I know this might feel like you're building tension through that neck, but that has to build strength as well. So try to stay through that. Try to breathe through all of the tension that you're feeling here, guys. Being uncomfortable is okay. Being in pain is not. So try to recognize the difference between the two. We have 3, 2, and 1. We have a 10-second rest before we go to our oblique leg ups and our high plank hold. 3, 2, 1. And 30 seconds on the clock for this oblique leg up move. Again, guys, doesn't need to be fast. We really do need to turn on the core action here. So if you're unsure on how to do that, mock a cough, and you'll find some tension in your core, and you want to try to hold on to it. Or imagine that someone's about to punch you in the stomach. You're going to automatically, reflexively, tense for that impact. That's what you want to find there. And automatically going into a high plank hold, guys. Again, you don't have to scramble to get into it. Just be effective getting into it. Find the place that you can hang out for that entire minute. Again, going through that checklist. Shoulders, ribs, hips, glutes. Shoulders, hips, ribs, glutes. We were really working hard on going through that cycle and self-correcting. It's so important to build those techniques of self-correction in a format like this when we cannot be right beside you, poking the spots that we want improved. So really find that self-correction within yourself. You are just about 18 seconds away from that final beeper, and we're going to go on to our third round. We're doing great, Em. I'm proud of you. We've got 5 seconds, and then we're going to get into our low plank punches. 2, 1, low plank. Low plank is next, folks. How are we feeling?
Burning.
He's burning. I love it. Low plank punches. Again, I would advise if you're more beginner and you have a harder time controlling hip rocking to go wide through the hips. It just gives you a little bit more area for stability. Keep those hips solid. Try not to let your body dip too much. You want to stay rock solid. That's it. Lots of grunting in the studio means that it's working. Let's go for 3 more seconds. And right away, we're flipping around into a hollow hold position. You're either going hollow hold or you're finding that dead bug position. I can imagine there's a lot of bent knees at this time in the workout. That's really great. That means you're listening to what your body is telling you. Now, if you're more advanced and you're really, really working on that core, you're keeping those legs straight, baby. They are not bending. Yeah, look at this. Keep the body taut. You are halfway. You are almost there, folks. We're doing so well here. This will be your final round of Workout 2.0 before we go into a finisher. So I want you guys to really, really work hard in this final move of 2.0. You're doing great. You have 10 seconds remaining here. Breathe. Find your zen. 3, 2, 1. Relax. You are done Workout 2.0. We've got a fun finisher coming your way. Let's grab some water. I'm gonna explain while Em relaxes here for a moment, because he needs a moment. For our finisher, folks, we have 4 different moves. This is going to be a continuous circuit style workout. However, it is also going to be a challenge style workout. So, hear me out. Each one of these moves, you have the opportunity to pick your rep range. You can pick to do 10 reps, 15 reps, you max out at 20 reps. Do not do more than 20 reps per move. If you choose to do 20 reps or 12 reps, whichever you choose, you must stick with the same rep range for all 4 moves. It's going to be very important that you record your moves and your rep ranges somewhere. So you might need a pen or a paper, you might need a phone or something to be able to record what you're doing, because we need to know a number at the end. For example, if Emerson chooses in his first round to go for 20 reps of everything, the next round he might be fatigued and choose 10. And the next round he might choose to go back up to 20. So all of those 10, 20, he's got to add that number up. Let's show you the moves. Move number 1, you're doing sit-ups. So Em's got his foot tucked under a weight here and he's doing full sit-ups. He's chosen a rep range in his mind and he's going to hit that rep range. Move number 2, we've got knees bent, windshield wipers. Now he has to do the same rep range for the windshield wipers that he did for his sit-ups. Each time his legs tick on one of the sides, that equals 1. So for example, 1, 2, 3, and vice versa. You've got penguins next. You are counting every other as 1 here. So as he goes, he's hitting right and then left, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Vice versa, and again, has to stick to the same rep range. The final move is low plank jacks, flipping around, low plank position. Again, each one of the jacks equals 1. So the challenge, guys, Facebook versus Zoom. We're taking the person that gets the highest amount of reps and the person that gets the lowest amount of reps, and we are adding those numbers together to equal the winner. All we want to know, guys, is we don't need to know the total number of reps for all moves. If on the first round of the circuit you do 20, and the second round you do 10, and the third round you do 10, then all we need to see is that you add 20, 10, and 10, and that's your number. If that makes sense, we will continue on. If you have questions about how that works, write down everything and then ask Kyle afterwards. We will help you out. We're going to get started. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and we're going to go through it as many times in that 5 minutes, okay? We're going to get the party started with our sit-ups in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Working really hard through these moves. You've given yourself a set rep range here. Maxing out at 20. You cannot go higher than 20. We are working hard on building through this continuous circuit. Now again, you've got your sit-ups. You've got your knee bent windshield wipers. You have penguins, and then you have low plank jacks to complete the continuous circuit. Now again, we're going Facebook versus Zoom. No matter what your athletic capability, we've built this finisher to make sure that you're included into adding up to our final marks, which is kind of the point. We want to make sure that everybody's recognized for the effort that they're putting in today. Really nice work. How's that core?
Killing.
Killing. Loving it. We're slaying the core this morning, folks. Emerson's on to his penguins. Again, counting every other rep as 1. He's breathing. He's breathing. Don't hold your breath at home, folks. I know it's tempting, but we're not doing that today. We're breathing. We're making sure that our body has ample oxygen to complete these moves. Emerson's on to his low plank jacks. You guys are likely at a different stage where you are. Just keep checking in if you forget the moves. And again, when he's done, he's going back up to sit-ups. Do you want me to write your reps down, Em?
20, yeah.
So M did 20 for his entire first round, so I'm writing down 20 for him. Incredible, folks. We are pushing so hard this morning. I know that you guys are feeling the burn this morning, and that finishing with a high-intensity finisher like this is not easy, but we don't tune in because we want a walk in the park. You know, if we wanted a walk in the park, we'd literally go out and do it. We want to be challenged this morning. We want to drip sweat, and we want our core to be singing the song of its people this morning. That's why we're here, and I'm sure that all of us are finding our songs of our people. You know, it's going to be a thrilling time to be alive this morning. We are under 3 minutes left. Let's keep persevering through. That's it. We are halfway through, pushing as hard as possible with good technique to get this done. I'm also going to state, guys, that if you're halfway through a round of moves, that round doesn't count. You have to fully complete rounds for it to count. It gives a little extra incentive to get fully complete through your rounds. Excellent work, guys. Again, we're working through sit-ups, knees bent windshield wipers, penguins, and plank jacks.
Whoa.
20?
20.
Emerson has completed 2 rounds of 20. You guys are choosing your own adventure with your rep range at home. The reason that we decided to go with a choose your own adventure and rep range is to give lots of allowances for beginner, intermediate, and advanced members and everybody in between. That is the point, that is the goal of making sure that everybody is on a level playing field and is able to complete the workout in a way that feels really good for every single one of you. We've got about 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining to get as much done as possible here. Em's really pushing himself here. I can tell that it is hot, it is hard, but he's got his game face on, folks, and he is pushing himself. He knows the difference between being uncomfortable and being, man, this is painful. He's in uncomfortable, but he's still really pushing himself through it, and it's really admirable. Let's all continue to do that at home too, folks. Let's push through slightly uncomfortable and build into new, incredible places. We have less than 1 minute remaining. Let's focus really hard on completing the next round. Beautiful. And is on his plank jacks. He will likely not be able to complete a complete 4th round. However, whether or not you can complete it, you are required to keep going. 20?
20.
Ooh, he has made the executive decision to change his rep range on his final one to get through more. That is a smart decision. What was that last one?
2.
2?
No.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. So, in Emerson's first, second, and third round, he did 20 reps of everything. So that's 60. In his 4th and 5th round, he did 2 reps of everything. So that's 4. Total 64. Emerson's final number is 64, and that's how we're calculating today. I hope that makes sense for everybody.
I'm on Team Facebook for sure. Jenny, bring it on, baby.
64 from Jenny.
Are you serious?
Oh, so Jenny got 64. Let's get all of those totals rolling in,
Jenny.
folks. We will give you a few moments to get that sorted because we know that Facebook is slightly behind. It's got a delay. So let's take some time, calculate that out.
We love you anyways, Facebook.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. How much fun was that? That was not an easy workout. Let's get those numbers in. Kyle is going to throw out some numbers our way very shortly. Let's put a timer on for another 30 seconds. You need to get those numbers in the next 30 seconds, and then we will announce the winner of the workout. Let's aim, folks. At home that are doing this on YouTube, I'm talking to you now. You want to try to get through at least 3 rounds with 20 reps each. So if you're not participating in the competition that we just did,
Right.
let's go through and do 3 rounds of that finisher at 20 reps each, and that will be your completion mark.
Amazing work ethic, guys.
Was Emerson on Facebook, but Zoom still wins.
Oh,
No
Zoom
way.
is the winner. What was the
Oh,
final
yeah.
number?
Let's see. Zoom has 107.
Wow.
Facebook with Emerson has 98.
Okay, so that's really tight, guys. That's a
Yeah.
really close competition.
Jenny and I were the 2 highest.
Yeah, you tied for the highest.
Jenny.
All right, so for those of you who are on the losing team, let's do 10 burpees, call it a day. So let's do those 10 burpees together here in the studio.
Woo!
You can tell it's a little humid in here, guys.
That's my body.
Really, really good work, guys. We're so proud of you. While you're completing those burpees, I'm going to remind us all, hop online, guys. Go on Facebook, hashtag We Are Proactive. Take that sweaty selfie and share it with us. Also, hashtag Plant a Tree. We are helping with the cause of deforestation. We are really amping up with the company that we're working with this month to plant trees and help our environment, which is important for all of us, whether or not we're aware. It is really important that we have clean oxygen, that we are taking care of Mother Earth. Easy way to do it, hashtag plant a tree, get it done. Emerson's gonna take you through a stretch. He crushed it today, high five long distance.
Hey!
Thank you for tuning in. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Mwah.
Alright, Proactive family, let's get after our stretch today. That was a doozy. I think we all deserve to lay flat on our backs right now. One of my favorite core stretches coming your way is just to do a non-activated core starfish, which means a deep arch throughout your low back. Head and shoulders are touching, feet are touching, arms are touching. You want to spread your body as wide and as long as you physically can, holding and breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, an arch underneath your low back will help to elongate your spine, will help to open up your transverse abdominis throughout your core here. Okay, guys, let's really reach for it. Breathing, let's get a lot of deep belly breaths in here, expanding our rib cage so that our core can experience a little stretch because it was pretty well contracted that entire hour workout. Thank you, Heather, for that. Next, guys, we're going to grip on same knee, same hand over top of your shins. Pull your knees as tight to your body as you can. If your low back is a little bit fired up because you've got a weak core, no problem. Let's work on relaxing through our lower spine here. We can rock side to side, get a nice low back massage as we rock side to side, controlling the movement. Really pull those knees into your chest. Take your time. Breathe. There is no rush here. Beautiful, guys. Awesome. Let's set those heels down on the ground with our knees nice and bent. We can drive our hips up to the sky here into a glute bridge position. Move your hips over to the right and then set them down. When you cross your right leg over left and then drop both knees to the left-hand side, you're going to feel that right low back open up. Shoulders, try your best to keep them both planted evenly on the ground. If you need some extra tension, push your right knee down to the floor a little bit more using your left hand. Deep breathing, guys. We're breathing into our side body here. Trying to gain space in between our rib cage. One more deep breath, guys. Try to relax as best as you can. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. All right, guys. Let's work on squaring up our hips to the sky. Move your hips over to the middle. Drive your heels down. Now we're going to drive your hips up to the sky. Move your hips over to the left-hand side. Set them down. Left leg crosses over top of your right. And then drop both knees. Rest them down to your right side. As you can see, my left shoulder came way off the ground, so I'm really going to try to make a point to keeping my left shoulder as close to the ground as I can comfortably go. I can use my right hand here to push down my left knee, getting an even deeper stretch through my low back here. Beautiful, team. Very well done. Happy Thursday. That was one heck of a workout. Okay, guys, so I'm going to Sphinx position here. So it's a low cobra position. You're gonna be on all fours here. Hands are planted flat on the floor. Look at your forearms, make sure they're parallel to one another. So I don't want to see your elbows out really wide. I want to see your elbows and your wrists and your forearms nice and parallel. We want to squeeze our glutes, keeping your feet on the ground. By activating through our glutes, we're going to help to protect our low back so we don't hyperextend. Opening up our chin and our chest, squeezing glutes. Taking slow, deep breaths. Again, another great core stretch here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get after it. 2 deep breaths more. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You might feel this throughout your abdominal region. I know I am right now. 1 more breath. Deep into your nose and out of your mouth. Amazing. Let's push up into a child's pose position with a wide leg. Arms are nice and straight, elbows and your palms can be down on the ground. Forehead is resting down on the floor. By doing this, you're telling your body that it is safe, that you can relax. Beautiful. Amazing. Let's press up into a tabletop position here. Your knees are directly underneath your hips, hands are directly underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, your chin lifts up, your belly dips. There's a deep concave through your low back here. As you guys exhale, you are going to tuck your chin into your chest. You're going to dome at your back, and the back of your spine is going to power up to the sky. Inhale, belly dips, chin lifts. Exhale, chin tucks into your chest, doming at the back, pressing palms through the floor. Twice more, guys. Last one. Beautiful, guys. Let's go into a seated position with wide legs here. Right hand's going to grip onto your right foot. Left hand can grip onto your left foot. If you can't quite reach, that's okay. Just reach for same hand, same foot. You can pulse into it, maintaining that chest elevated, back's nice and flat. If you feel more comfortable to reach in the center, you can do that, targeting your groin here. Woo! Insides of my legs are quite tight today from all those oblique leg ups. Very good, guys. Last hip stretch here, driving our heels in together, close to your body. You can use your elbows to push down your knees. Taking a few deep breaths here, knowing that you guys did an incredible job today. None of our workouts are ever easy, but that one certainly went above and beyond. Quite a challenging finisher there. Trying to keep up with Jenny B, ladies and gentlemen, is not an easy task. Thank you for the push and motivation, Jenny. I knew you'd be on my tail. I couldn't let you get ahead of me, so virtually I sensed you behind me. Beautiful. All right, guys, let's stand on up. Shaking out those arms, shaking out those legs. Just want to thank you guys so much for joining us here live from the Proactive Training Studio. I hope each and every one of you have an incredible Thursday. We are more than halfway done this week. Tomorrow, join us back for True Grit Friday. And it's going to be a total body session from upper, lower, core cardio combined into one magical session right here from the Proactive Training Studio. I just want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, that we are gearing up to open in-person training sessions. Of course, we are waiting for the Ontario government's recommendations and letting them release stage 3 and the opening of Ontario. But we are very well prepared. We have so many measurements and precautions set in place to ensure that each of our members, as well as our staff members, are safe during this time. We can expect to get back to some outdoor training as well, just based on the City of Cambridge's approval. So I've already sent in our permit request for our annual outdoor Hit the Park sessions. So fingers crossed, come July, we will be outside, exercising outside of Dixon Park. Looking forward to that with all of you guys. Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. We'll send you guys an email, bit of an update on what to expect moving forward. But nonetheless, have an awesome day. We love you guys. Take care.